Good evening. Welcome to the 1927 Club. Tonight I am joined by Mr. Rhys David Evans. Good evening, sir. How are we?
Rough as guts, but top of the league, so can't complain.
You're always rough as guts, but it must be because you're so close to that West Walian team down here now.
It is, I think. Honestly, been a Cardiff fan means I'm exposed to the elements, then yeah. Because I don't go to that stadium often enough, I'm not immune to the diseases yet. It's killing me.
No, but obviously we're here to discuss Northampton versus Cardiff today. 3 points on the road. I'm not sure if I'm honest. I think the score might have flattered us a little bit. I think the game was tougher than perhaps what it would look if you look at the result. But obviously we'll dive into that as we go. I know you've only managed to catch some of the highlights and things, but joys of working on a Saturday, I suppose, but isn't it?
Yeah, away days is hard for me, but when we're home on a Saturday, it's a different story then.
We'll be back next week, but don't worry.
I know, I can't wait to be back and watching a league game. 3 o'clock kick-off, bouncing to the camp then, I can't wait for it.
Yes, I think we said before we come on live, it seems as if we haven't... I know we went to watch the Arsenal under 21s the other night, but yeah, it just seems as if it's been ages.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like the international breaks that cut it in, and then it's away games. I think last month they were mostly away. It was all away. It's like I think that is it Wigan away? Was it Bolton away, Blackpool away? Trying to think of the home games. Like it's thankfully next Saturday back to business, and I think we've got like 5 out of 7 home games then in December.
Yeah, and it's it's a massive month for us. I think we were talking again before we come on live just how close League One is. I think. Did I say there's 13 points between us at the top and the first team in the relegation zone? I think it was something like 13 points, which I think is bonkers after 15, 16 games of the season.
Well, it's 13 points between us and 23rd it is. So I mean that says all really. I mean, how tight this league is.
And again, I think we talked about results and things, and anything can happen. And again, I think you look at some of the results today. I don't think anybody would have thought Luton would have gone to Barnsley and got thumped 5-0 today.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, is it Keller Dunn? To be fair to him, he's a quality player. Man, he's been smashing him in League One for a while now. But like you're looking at look at the teams in League One. I mean, Stockport County, Bradford City. I mean. Both done. I would have thought these teams are going to be in the playoffs, if I'm honest with you. At this point, I thought it'd be Huddersfield, Luton, Plymouth. Those are the big hitters. Reading maybe sneaking in there. Blackpool, Peterborough like this. But again, some of the teams that bear mind, everyone's beaten everyone, eh?
Yeah. Right. Any surprises in the starting lineup when you've seen the team come out today?
I wouldn't say surprising. I know me and Rob were on last Saturday after the Wales game. We both said Lawler would play Tuesday night and he won't play for Cardiff anyone. So I expected that. I'm not surprised to see Chambers starting ahead of Osho. I thought Alex Robertson with the form he was coming back into would have started ahead of Joel. And I didn't think Isaac would have started at wide, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I think disappointed not to see Lawler, but I kind of get the reasons why. But yeah, I was quite happy with the side that when I seen it come up. Kind of expected, really. When I think we knew that potentially Lawler weren't going to be there, and Chambers would fit in, and I don't think there was any other shocks really. I think Salek had another tough game today. I know you said. Obviously you only caught the highlights, but again, he's getting rugby tackled at some points, and I don't know if you've seen the celebration towards the end. I think he won a free kick on the touchline towards the end, and his hands were up in the air cheering as if he just scored a goal. Like it was bonkers.
It's kind of an old school striker sort of thing. Now they try and bully him, and he'll stand up a bit. My only issue is he drops deeper and deeper as the game goes on to pick the ball up, and when he gets it, there's no one behind him and to knock it on to something. I've got the legs to get forward quick enough. That's my only problem. Landed to see Willock back on the bench, I mind. I think we've missed him big time. I mean, I criticised him last season, but this year he's been outstanding for us, and it's really good to see him back in amongst it. But, the big one today, I think, was Ruben, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I think that was the big...
Yeah, and we'll come on to that, obviously. I think, obviously, we went 1-0 up. Joel Caldwell scored after about, was it 7 or 8 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah.
Ruben went off then, I think, around 13, 14, 15 minutes. And I think the game changed massively when he went off. I don't know whether that's because we took our foot off the gas or Northampton upped their game a little bit. Could be a bit of both. But yeah, I just thought, we were lucky to go into the break at 1-0, I think. I don't know what other people's thoughts are. But yeah, Northampton had a few chances, to be fair. But at the end of the day, but it was awful conditions up there today.
It is. And
round the result out.
They're a team that likes to lump the ball long, try and win flick-ons, get runs on the end of things. I thought we handled that pretty well. I thought Chambers did a decent job today, mind. He's slowly, quietly growing into it. But the problem is now we'll probably get dropped down next Saturday after a good performance, and it's hard to build momentum as a player when that's happening.
Yeah, and again, I think you've had plenty of criticism over the years, but I think over the last couple of years, should we say, Ian? But I thought he put in a solid performance today. I think Fish and Capaccio probably had the tougher afternoon. The way Northampton attacked down that channel, I think Capaccio probably not his strongest game in a Cardiff shirt, although he had 2 assists. I thought it was a difficult afternoon for Capaccio and Fish. I think Fish got turned a couple of times. He had a yellow card, didn't he, for dragging someone down, I think. But take a positives from it, though. I think as a unit, I think we defended pretty well. A couple of lapses of concentration. They scored the 1 goal, could have scored a few more. I think you said again before we come on live, you're a bit worried about the amount of opportunities that we're giving teams.
Yeah.
And I just think because we're in League One, we're probably getting away with it because perhaps that quality is not quite there. If you go in the Championship and you allow teams to have 16 shots at your goal, I'm not sure we would be very happy with the outcome.
I think they had 30 touches in our own box as well, which is insane thing we're giving away. But it's one of those which I think Kellerman does a good job going forward, but I think he does lack a bit tracking back, helping out Capaccio. I think we've seen players like Callum Grant do a great job tracking back, and it goes unnoticed. And when it's a bit more obvious, I think you do kind of see him more. Which is why I won't be too disappointed to see him in the 10 now if Ruben's out. But then I also think Willock looks a lot more dangerous in the 10.
Yeah.
Like just wide. So it's one of those. There was a corner for them today, and we've seen it quite often now. We're leaving players unmarked on the edge of the box. We left 3 of them unmarked at the edge of the box today. Ball goes in, they win a free header. Luckily, he goes wide. But you do also think, come on, you've got to start learning from this now. It's you can't keep giving teams all these chances and stuff. It is frustrating,
Yeah. Going back to the point you made about Kellyman, there was points today where the commentators were saying that BBM was shouting he wasn't happy with his positioning coming back to help Capaccio. So I think, again, what's he, 18, 19? He learned from today. Capaccio again, 18. So you can kind of forgive and forget, and hopefully they'll take the learnings from today, and we'll be better next time. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kellyman now in that 10 role, and maybe Ashford's brought back on the right. I thought Isaac Davis looked dangerous on the left today when he had the ball. I think we could have got the ball to him a bit quicker, but he did look sharp. And it was good to see him start the game, really, because I think we haven't seen him start enough games this year. Yeah. But I think, again, that's down to BBM managing him and his injury, really.
Yeah, and it's tough for Kellerman because, again, he's coming from, was it Chelsea now? I think it is, and, he might be playing the 10 for them, so his job isn't tracking back and stuff. So the things he does naturally, like tracking back, is not coming to him now. But he'll get used to it. Again, I think Willock looks more effective in the 10 for me, so I won't be disappointed to see him in the 10. The only disappointment for me was Turnbull coming on ahead of Alex Robertson. I don't know if Alex Robertson travelled with Australia or something, or is maybe with Tigers of that, but disappointed to see him coming on ahead of Alex Robertson, because we've seen enough for Turnbull this year to know he's not offering that. He's not doing enough for me. I don't know if he seems to take 5 or 6 too many touches that he needs to. Going forward, it seems to slow right down. I don't think he's as effective as we want him to be. Now, I don't know if it's a play or...
My personal opinion, and I think Rob put a message in the chat that we went 1-0 up and let's, put our foot to the floor now, let's take it to him type of thing. And obviously he went off injured then, not long after we scored. And then we brought Turnbull on, and I think it just looked so much more defensive for me. He doesn't offer that threat going forward like the likes of Ruben offers. Alex Robertson can offer. Willock could have come on at that point for me. Yeah. Again, that's probably a bit early considering he hasn't played for a while and he's been out injured. But, we've seen managers put players on in the first half and have to take them back off. So I would have liked to have gone more attacking, really, when Ruben come off. But I don't want to slate David Turnbull, but I just don't think he offers enough going forward for me.
Same, I'm disappointed. I think it's been a transfer that's really not worked out for either party. And I won't be surprised if there's movement in January, if I'm honest with you. Look at the 10, so you could easily put Callum Robertson in there because he plays as a false 9 when he comes on. And you see when Salah goes forward, Robertson sort of holds his runs to the last minute and he makes some lovely runs in the box. And when the defender's following the striker like Salek towards the back post or front post, he leaves space behind. And he want a natural 10 to pick it up. So disappointed to see him come on, but I agree. I bet
there'd be nobody more disappointed than Robbo. I bet he was chomping at the bit to get on here today and get it that he obviously didn't. But I think he'll be the first one to say obviously it's a team game. But you can understand him being disappointed, can't you?
Yeah, again, he makes these lovely runs in, but I think you need to have someone like that who's hungry to get some game time and some minutes because, like I said, December's a massive month for us. We got 7 games. Squad rotation's going to be big. We need all our players to be as much fit, much sharp as we can to keep them fresh because last thing you want to do is go into January carrying 5 or 6 big injuries. Then you're forced to scramble in the January market. Teams know you're desperate, so they're slapping on extra zeros on price tags. It's the last thing you want to read.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't realise how small Northampton's stadium was. I think the capacity something like 8,203 or something I was looking at earlier. And today's attendance was 7,451. And I think there was over 1,500 Cardiff fans there. And fair play to them. I don't know what it was like on the highlights, but watching the live stream, that's all you could hear was obviously Cardiff fans. And it was so funny because when after obviously it went 1-1, you can hear the Northampton fans singing, "You're not singing anymore." And as soon as they stopped singing it, we scored. And obviously the Cardiff fans started singing it back to them, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Fair play. Again, and it's something we're going to get used to, really, these smaller stadiums. We've seen it so far, like Stockport, Wimbledon, Port Vale. They're not the biggest stadiums. You sell at the away end pretty easy. But then, for them teams, it's a massive day for them, let's be honest. Let's not big ourselves up too much, but if you're Cardiff, you're playing something like, Arsenal's coming to you, or Sunderland's coming to you, Newcastle's coming to you. These are big clubs for us, so we're probably seeing the same light to these clubs. We're a big club, big day out, it's exciting to host us. If we can beat them, that's a massive scalp sort of thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's anybody in the chat watching on the way back. I'm not sure if you're home yet, but the commentators did say that the card machines went down in the Cardiff end. So, that would have been interesting because most grounds now are like you can only use card, innit? So,
stupid.
Would have been interesting to see what would have happened there. But I'm going to dive into the chat because there's lots of comments in here, so we will catch up. Evening Suze, she says, top of the league again. Yes, but like we said earlier, it's so close. Gav, Ruben, and crying. Evening Gray, right battle. These are the games we need to get wins out of. Yeah, 100%, mate. Lee Griffiths, good evening, my friend. Conditions were hard work. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a leveler for both teams, probably the weather, but wasn't it?
Yes. Again, it's going to be like this now, especially December, January time. It's going to get cold. It's going to be, wet and rainy. So fair play to them. It's a massive win, let's be honest. After the form we've been on, the last thing that it would have been easy to say for the players after going 1-1, thinking, again, it's happened again. But to be fair, they got back right at them, and 3-1 win is great to break that poor run, let's say.
Yes, like you said, what did you say? We had in the last 7 games, we done
4 losses in the last 7 games, I think it was, and like I said, like say now, you go 1-0 up, you think, right, settle the nerves down, calm down a bit. Ruben goes off, you won all. You're probably thinking, this is one of those days now, innit? Everything's going to go against us. The ref's going to give us nothing. But to be fair, they kept their heads down, kept at it, and got the win. And sometimes I think it's just getting that win straight after the international break, get that first win to get yourself back on track, and then the performances come. So again, at home next week as well now. Just get momentum going and smash December, I think, and if you go into January...
I think that momentum now is massive in it. I think, obviously, Mansfield next week. It is Mansfield, isn't it?
Yeah, Mansfield home next week.
And hopefully, we can hit December then, full steam ahead type of thing, and really take that momentum into games.
And it's going to be easier come January, convince the players to come here if you're top of the league, let's be honest, or top 2, rather than if you're mid-table, so...
Yeah. Graham says BBM changes made the difference today. 100% agree with you, buddy. Like I said, it was nice to see Willock back out on the field today. New haircut as well. Brian Barry Murphy has confirmed that Ruben Caldwell sustained an ankle ligament injury, which looks pretty serious. Scans to come.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures after the game, and he was wearing a boot and he was on crutches. So fingers crossed. That's precautionary, and it's not as bad as it looks, really. But yeah, it doesn't look too great, if I'm honest. Paul, good evening, buddy. Evening, both. Decent 3 points away from home. Ruben's injury, not the news we need, but others need to step up. 100% agree with you, my friend. Gavin says, what was Kian today? Where was Kian today? Wasn't even on the bench. No, I think... I'm not sure how much involvement he had with the international team when he was away during the international break. I'm not... Did you say the under-21s played, Reece? I can't remember.
I'm sure they did, yeah. Because I think they lost... Was it to Bulgaria? They lost to someone. I'm sure they did. But he would have gone with them because he wasn't available for the Arsenal game, was he? So he's obviously up to international duty.
Yeah. So I think same with Dylan Lawler. I think those that were on international duty kind of give him an extra day off, I think. Sue says, Willock's back with a great winning strike. We've missed him. Great finish as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, and if you look at him, he's quite centrally when he scores as well, which is why I think he'll do a better job in the 10 than he will at wide. For me, I think he'll just wander a little bit here and there, pick up a little bit of space. I think he's more effective as a 10 than he is at wide. Honestly, we aren't going to try and beat the man in the 10. See, you haven't. It's just find the space, get the ball, keep it moving.
It'd be interesting to see what people in the chat say as well, because obviously I know you've only seen the highlights, but obviously when he made the 3 changes, NG come on and Capaccio pushed up as a right winger or right wing back, and you want to call it. We went to a kind of a back 3 or whatever. What's your thoughts on Capaccio filling that role?
To be fair, but he's done it quite often this year. I've seen him go into midfield. I've seen him push forward. He does look like a natural winger, if I'm honest. Going forward, taking players on, the overlap, the underlap. He does look like a natural winger. But then he has performances right back where you think he looks like a natural right back. I just think it goes to show how talented he is really for such a young man.
And I think BBM likes players being able to play in more than one position as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. And it's a good option to have because, again, if you've got Perry Genji on the bench, and if you need to, you can put Perry on right back, push Capaccio further forward, try and get him on the ball a bit more, look for the runs. Again, he's got pace to burn. Let him use it.
Yeah. I think we've touched upon this one already. If Ruben is out, who do you think plays 10? I feel we've had a few games recently to try something different. For example, Kellyman. I'd go for, like I said, Kellyman or potentially Chris Willock, depending on how Isaac Davis is doing, because I thought, like I said, he done all right on the left today. And obviously we got Ashford to come in on the right. Good news as well, Ollie Tanner's back in training. He's back running on the grass, so I don't think we'll see him until after Christmas, mind, to be honest. But it's another positive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no, because especially now when you're thinking that, I think Kellerman's only on loan until January, I believe he is, or there's a recall option in January for Chelsea. So, you might lose him at that point then. So the sooner we get players back on the pitch, training, trying to get to match fitness, it's going to take him a month at least to get up to being able to have full-blooded tackles and stuff in training.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a while for him to get the confidence that his leg's not going to go straight away.
It'd be nice to know what's going through BBM's mind now, as in, who he wants to bring in come January, what areas. Joel Bagan, again, was outstanding for me today, but I think we're crying out for cover there at left back. We got a couple of youngsters who can step up. I think we've seen a couple, especially when we went to watch the Arsenal game the other night. But that's definitely an area I think we need to strengthen, is that left back. But at the moment, Joel Bagan's a machine and he's doing the job, isn't he?
He is, and to be fair to him, I think Parfit is the lad. I think he came off injured, I think, against Arsenal, but Newport County, he was first class. Arsenal game, he was first class. There's some great youngsters in the academy side, and you see the training videos now when they put the questions up. How many youngsters are involved in the first team training? That's massive. That is. I mean, that's full credit to the staff behind the scenes to get them ready for that, because I think there's a few ready to kick on now and get into the first year a bit.
Yeah,
it's just you just don't want to lose into injury. That's all. I
like BBM's press conference about Northampton. I think he said they were training this week with a squad of 20. Any more than that, obviously, because he can only name 16 on a match day, or 16 outfield players on a match day. So obviously, it's hard letting people down if he can't name them in the squad. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting when he said it, really. But I think the youngsters are obviously in and around that environment, and the more they can be in and around that environment, the better it's going to be for us in the long run, I think.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm keen to know what happens in January. Does anyone go to loan? Mafiko probably needs some first team football, but then do you really want to risk sending him somewhere where they're not going to play him? So you might have to slap a charge on. He either plays 75% of all remaining games, or you pay us a fine or a fee, like Liverpool do this for Gruwich years ago. I mean, there's players there. I don't understand how the Will Spears one works. I think he's at Merthyr, but still playing for our academy. I don't quite understand how that works. Is that an option we can have? I don't know, but
I was very impressed with him the other night when we watched him. I thought he's a workhorse, to be fair, and
did well.
Yeah, quite impressed with him. I think he spoke after the game, and he mentioned about Merthyr, and he just wants to play as many minutes and get as much experience as he can. So, fair play to the kid. He could, if he wanted to, he could probably just happy playing the odd game, 1 or 2 games a week for the under 21s. But he's chomping at the bit. He wants to get out there and is helping another local club in Merthyr who are flying in their league as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, definitely. This is an interesting one, and it'll be interesting to see what you think and the others. Why did Ruben stay on after the physio called for a sub? Bad move by them and longer recovery. So I don't know, again, if you've seen it, but obviously he went out injured, kind of hobbled off. The physio had, holding him up type of thing. Strapped his foot up, went back on. Minute later, went down, had to come off.
It's frustrating because it's happened. I think it was the last season or the year before. Maybe the year before, actually, and the bullet when Callum Robertson pulled his hamstring, and he went, no subs, we'll keep him on. And Callum's limping around the pitch on his hamstring, and because he stayed on, it made it worse. He's out for longer. Just don't risk it. I mean, I watched Cardiff Ladies last Sunday. One of the players went down a head injury. I think I take it off now, precautionary. Kept it on. Goes down immediately. 2 minutes later, same head injury. Think, come on, I was take it off. Keeps it on. She makes a mistake then. I think in the last thing you want now is something serious to go happen here. Just don't risk it. I mean, Ruben's, he's a key player for us. You know, you don't want to risk it. I understand why you're thinking, right, if I can keep him on for a few minutes, he might run it off. But just don't risk it. Like, he's only 2. You've got other players there. Surely one of them is able to step up and make a difference if Ruben, has to come off. Like, you're not going to have every player fit 100% for the season, so you're going to have to rotate. So why not? I don't understand why they keep him on. I really don't.
Yeah, bonkers one for me, especially when the physio, signalled the change, whether that was Ruben saying, no, I don't want to go off, but then, shouldn't be his decision at the end of the day, really. Should have the physio have assessed him in that couple of minutes he was on the field. Sorry, Rube, but you've got to listen to the powers that be type of thing.
Exactly, yes. Just again, I don't know if it's, again, probably if it hasn't made it worse, probably not, because it's one of those injuries where the damage is already done, maybe. But why risk it? I just don't know why you risk it.
Yeah. The more Cardiff go top, the more used to that will erase any pressure dealing with being top. I believe they will have the bottle to succeed. Yeah, I think still early doors at the moment, and I think me and Reece both predicted perhaps we'd be a little bit further in front of what we are. We will have to check the scores and stuff as well. We won't do it now tonight, but perhaps ready for next weekend. We'll have a bit of a lowdown and we'll check up on them. But it's just so tight. But then results have shown again today. They've gone for us. Anything can happen, and I thought the Championship was hard because anybody could beat anyone on the day. Well, I think League One is exactly the same, if I'm completely honest with you.
Yeah, so regarding the pressure thing, I think March is when the pressure will kick in, because you're either being chased by the pack or you are chasing the pack. And as youngsters, you're probably looking at other teams going, they've won again today, we've got to win now. So there's that. But then again, it could have the reverse effect where you could be like, we've won today, the chasing pack have got to win to keep momentum with us. But I think March time is when you're going to see the pressure kick in. I think that's when you're going to have the senior players step up and just guide them through it. But yeah, as a comment there, I think we've got to get the Trott deal done in January from us now.
I will come to it. There's still loads to work through, so I will come to it now. Mention for the excellent support again today. Yeah, I did mention it a little bit earlier on. Yeah, nothing but respect to all the fans that travel up. It was looked outstanding in that away end and very loud watching it on the TV. I was going to go at the start of the week, but my boy said he wanted to play football on Saturday morning, due to kick off this morning at 11 o'clock, and we had a message at 10:15 saying the game had been called off. So he was already in the car with all his kit on, and he just looked at me and said, "Dad, I wish we'd gone to Northampton now." What do you do in it? Paul says, Ruben is a massive loss, but think we have a few players who can play there, Willock or Robertson. Yeah, we've had a chat about that. Sue says, Mansfield next. Didn't start well today. Then massive games early December. So, yeah, they lost 3-1 at home to Huddersfield today.
But, yeah, this is it now, though, because, again, you've got the December now. We've got, Huddersfield, you've got Wimbledon in the Cup. So I'll be the youngsters, probably. Then you're going to get, Huddersfield. Then you got Stevenage, another league. Then you got Chelsea. There's going to be games that play. You're going to have to rotate. He's got to. So,
yes, he's going to earn his money in December, and in fairness to him.
Yeah.
Turnbull's heads elsewhere. I think he goes back to Scotland come January. New name. I haven't recognised this one before, but because all the names change all the time, you could have very well have been on before. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, boys. Good win today. Load of home games now. Let's take advantage. 100%. Is the future a false nine and maybe Saleh sold? Is BBM slowly working out the false nine plan of playing?
Oh, see, it's interesting, that is, because I think Robbo does play the false nine so well. I think you see it. I do think he lacks the right pace around him, though, for it to be more effective. I think the most effective false nines have got blister pace either side. But then you can play the false. You can play Robbo in the 10 and act as the false 9 with Salek in the 9, I suppose, because the late runs that Robbo makes, the intelligent runs, the position he picks up, you can play like that. But again, he might be trying to think how to change it up come January. We don't know. And as to Turnbull going in January, if he is going, I think the club will have someone lined up to replace him if he wants to before he goes. That might probably be a loan, but there'll be someone.
Have I missed RDE mentioning drill it into the box?
I haven't said it once yet.
Lee Griffith says, my boys just got in. Best food of the season, he said. Cottage pie with veg.
Fair play.
I didn't realise Kevin Nolan was the manager of Northampton as well. Obviously, Premier League legend for Bolton back in the day when did he go to West Ham as well? Yeah,
West Ham. I think he was living with Andy Carroll at one point, wasn't he?
I don't know.
And Andy Carroll set fire to his house or something, if I remember correct. There's a story where there was a problem with them both, yeah. But again, he's a Premier League legend, and when you see some of the managers now managing lower leagues, again, it makes you think about my childhood when they were playing.
And, I know the score probably flatters us a little bit, if I'm honest, today. But I don't think Northampton will have any worries about staying in League One. I know they were in 15th before, obviously, today's game, but they had the majority of the possession. Say majority. They had 52% possession today. We had 48. Now, I think that's probably the only time this season where we've had less of the ball than the other team. I can't think of another game at the moment where we've had less possession. I don't know, you probably can because you're a man of knowledge.
No, I was just going to say, you say you can't see them being in trouble. I thought Port Vale gave us a hell of a game, and they're rock bottom. I mean, teams up their game against us. We've seen that. Yeah. They definitely, again, and they look a lot better when they play us than they do week in, week out. And I don't know, teams like Northampton Town, they'll try and grind results out. Fair enough to them. But I don't think we can judge teams on how they play against us at all, because again, like Port Vale, I thought they were brilliant, and then all of a sudden they rock bottom and they're struggling.
Never mind. Tech, good evening, my friend. Good 7-0 win for your boys' team this morning, but wasn't it? I bet that was awful conditions as well. But yeah, you take 7-0 any day of the week. Beating them away after the international break, 3 points is quality. We've done enough. I'm sure BBM kept back ready for next week's home game. Kept Lola back, I'm guessing. Get us going again back at our stadium. Yeah, can't wait for that next week.
Yeah, buzzing for now.
Going on Joel's injury then. BBM says Joel picked up a gash on his knee, which looked pretty serious on close inspection. Every gash is serious, isn't it, on close inspection, to be fair. It's after 9 o'clock. I'm allowed to say stuff like that. If City win the league, will the class of 25 be immediately classed as club legends?
I want to say club legends because we should never be in this position in the first place. But, it'll be a great squad. The 25 squad will be, simply because a lot of youngsters stepped up when the club needs them to. When a lot of senior pros let the club down last year, to see the youngsters stepping up now and put the performance in, the attitude, the commitment, it's night and day in differences. So there'll be a lot more. I don't say the word love towards them, but this team will be looked back on a lot more fondly if these go up anyway.
Yeah, good answer, Bet. Graham says he thought Northampton were better playing football rather than hoofing it up all the time. Reese Lasky, good evening, buddy. It also says Ashford is also an option at 10.
Yeah.
Paul says as well, Robertson at 10.
Oh God. I'd say Tanner would have been an option at 10 if I was to. I think Tanner looks like a decent 10. But but Alex Robertson, I think I was impressed with him a few times last year. Start early on in the season, there was a few games where I thought as a 10, he run the show in the forward lines. I thought the forward channels was brilliant. picking up pockets of space, controlling the ball, keeping the ball going. I thought he was outstanding. His vision is brilliant. His control of the ball as well. He's so calm with it at his feet.
Yeah. Graham says BBM will probably play Robbo at 10. Tech says Bagan, old school, no nonsense, 100%. Yeah, I thought he was outstanding again today, and I'd probably say he's my player of the season so far. I know that's early doors, but yeah, I just love him. I think he's brilliant.
I love what Bagan's become. I think he's matured into a fantastic fullback for us. Outstanding. I just think Trott has kept us in so many games with some massive saves. For me, Trott is probably the player of the year for me right now. I think he's just a different gravy with him in goals. I mean, I think it's hard to vote against him, in my opinion.
Well, if he signs for us in January, I'll change my mind and I'll vote for Nathan Trott. But if he doesn't sign in January, then Bacon can have it. Here's an interesting one for you, Wen. And I've got my opinions on this, but it'll be interesting to see what you think first. Does NG fit the system this season?
Yes, in some regards. So, like, he doesn't fit the attacking style of play that BBM wants. So that's obvious. You know, he's not the inverted fullback going forward with the pace. I mean, last year he tried playing it, and the ball over the top killed us far too much. You know, he creates too much space behind him. However, there's going to be games where you're going to need experience at the back, just someone who's going to stay deep, let Bacon go forward and stay as a back three if you need to, and have the 6 come and shield a bit.
And I thought that was a perfect example of that today. I thought when he came on today, pushed Capaccio up, took Will Fish off because he'd had a yellow card. I think Fish come off. But I think he'll probably play more games coming off the bench than what he will start any games. But again, I've got no doubts. I think the last 18 months or so, I think we questioned his commitment to Cardiff, I think. But I think, obviously, he's not back to the player he was when he had Player of the Year for the 2 seasons on the bounce. But, he's not far off it. And he's, at least now, he looks committed to the cause type of thing. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, first off, you can't play every single game all season. I mean, Capaccio wear himself out. So you've got to need someone who's reliable at right back. And I think he's shown he's maturing into a reliable right back. Like we said, we have questions his not professionalism, but his dedications some games last year. But I also think the formation last year didn't suit him really. Again, he was always pushing forward. It exposed, too much space behind him. But there's going to be games where teams are going to try and bully us at the back. And you're going to need players like Perry, who's going to be the shithousery. He's going to go down, win a free kick, win a foul. He's going to leave a studs in or something. You're going to need something like that. And it's not just the dirty side of the game. His reading of the game will be totally different to Capaccio's. Capaccio's more of a forward-thinking full-back. So how he sees the game will be different. So he'll know when to drop deeper, when to challenge the left winger and stuff. So, yeah, he's got a big part to play. But he won't be the main man, that's all. Right back for me, that's all.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This is regarding the Will Spears loan to Merthyr. It's a youth loan, so different rules. He can play for both teams, apparently.
So does that mean he's on a different kind of contract to, like, some Mafiko then? Is he on a... Because could Mafiko go out alone and then come back and play every Saturday for Cardiff? Or the Cupcakes, I don't know.
No idea. Quick ad now, guys, and we'll be back in a minute. You got Boss Man to talk to you. You've all seen it before.
This episode of Cardiff City World is brought to you by Coral, the proud sponsor of the TalkSport Fan Network. Here for all kinds of fans. For the armchair experts, whether you're constantly negative, overly positive, or maybe even the instant over-the-top reaction social media guy or girl. For the football fashionistas still clinging to the legendary terrace fashion of yesteryear. Or the best retro gear from Michael Thorne. The nostalgia merchants dreaming of the old lady Ninian Park, or still celebrating Campbell's goal in the Millennium Stadium. Whatever kind of fan you are, with Coral's free-to-play reward shaker with a guaranteed daily reward or offer throughout the season. Simply shake your phone to win. Over 18s only. Maximum 1 reward or offer per player per day. 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. For more information on safer gambling, visit gambleaware.org.
Happy days. I'll continue with the questions and the comments in the chat because there's still plenty in there. Paul says Bacon is definitely on the shortlist for player of the season for me. Jonathan goes, kind of agrees with you. Trott likely to get player of the season the way he's going. Brilliant again today. What a save he made. I think about a minute or two before Willock scored our third goal in. Save down to his right hand side, just palmed it past the post. Yeah, how many points have he saved us this season? But it's bonkers, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and
the frightening thing for me is if we hadn't got him in, I'm not confident the other keepers we had in the building would have.
I mean, Horvath in goals last season or Trott. I mean, I think if you have Trott in goals last season rather than Horvath, you're probably staying up last season. Because some of the goals he conceded were shocking. I know in the end, Alnick played quite a few games. The defence in front of him was all over the place half the time. I mean, as a manager, it must be frustrating working on things on training ground and then 5 minutes of the game. Last season, you had Chambers rushing up to the halfway line, leaving Gutas on his own exposed, NG in the middle of the pitch, leaving the full-back position exposed.
And I don't think I'm half as nervous now either, knowing Matt Turner's on the bench as well, because I like him as well. I think he got yellow carded today as well for something. But yeah, I know. I think he was harshly. I know it sounds silly now, but because obviously how good Trott have been, but obviously he started the first game of the season, Matt Turner, and kind of haven't had a look in since. I know we've played in obviously some of the cup games and things, but yeah, I'm confident he'd be able to step in and do a job for us, no problem.
It's one of those, let's be honest, though, if you're Turner right now, there's nothing you can do or say, really. Because if you look at the way how amazing Trott's doing, you can't exactly say, I deserve to be in goals right now. You just learn from him. Learn what you can from him. Because obviously, whatever he was doing before has got him to the position he's in now. So you learn from the best. And let's be honest, he's the best keeper at the club right now by a country mile. And it's probably the best keeper we've had since David Marshall for me. I mean, I love Deathridge. I thought he was outstanding. But Trott looks different gravy.
Going back to Ruben's injury, he tried running it off, didn't work out. Not a big deal for me, shows that he's committed to the cause. Fair enough, innit? Tech says he's still miffed why Rolls wasn't kept on for a year, middle of the park controlling and teaching the kids. Still coming on in times of need. Legend. I don't know if he was involved with the Plymouth squad today. I don't know if you know.
Is it today or yesterday they played against Port Vale?
That's right.
He came on as a sub, he did.
Did he?
But
look at that.
If I remember correct, yeah, Joe Walls came on at 69th minute. Wait, 69. He came on at 69th minute, he did. But it's one of those, I think I read that BBM sat down with him and Renamota and decided they weren't going to be in his plans. So, is it because he doesn't see him as mobile enough? Which, I don't know, I think Rawls offers more than turn ball right now, if he wants to. I mean, his technical ability, set pieces, passing, I think he does a better job tracking back and stacking. He might not have the mobility that Turnbull does have. But again, I think he offers more, Rawls does. Was it a wage issue, maybe? I don't know.
Possibly. Perhaps he didn't want to be he wanted to go out. I know, obviously, we got relegated and that, but he didn't want to be a bit part player, perhaps, and that's no disrespect to him. That's what he would have been this season, I think.
I get that, but I don't think that's the case because of how long it took for him to find a club. I think November, he's found Plymouth, really. Unless he thought he would have a club lined up before now. I honestly know. Disappointed.
I would have liked to have kept him, just to have had him in and around, just to, pass on his experience, really, and, his love for Cardiff. He's a legend at the end of the day, and Yeah, but I wish him all the best at Plymouth. I kind of hope he's not playing there when we play him. But I wish he goes on and does whatever he needs to do football wise. But yeah, I think it'd be great to go to Home Park. I think it's February. I think it is, and he does play because I think he'll have a hell of a reception off the travelling away fans.
Yeah,
as long as he doesn't score a screamer.
Yeah, like it's one of those where it's a tough one because again you're thinking if say Rolls stays, I didn't realise that contract ends in January at Plymouth and it's a short-term deal.
Yeah,
it's a tough one because it could be a case of say he stays, Joel doesn't get the side, Joel doesn't play the games because he got Rolls instead. Now if Mafiko doesn't get game time because. So part of me was thinking, I understand why he has gone because we have promoted youth, so I can appreciate that. I don't know if money was the problem issue with it, or if the club said, look, we can't afford to keep him on. If you keep him on, you've got to lose 2 or 3 other players. I don't quite know. No one's really said what happened. Maybe Rolls will speak about it when his time is up. Maybe Sile get him on the show, and he'll tell us all then. But I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? I don't think we're having any favours whatsoever regarding the referees tech. I don't know if I think we mentioned it right at the beginning about Saleh celebrating when he had a free kick awarded in something like the 95th minute, I think. I just thought that was quite funny. Evening, Ryan. Late to the party. Where was Ashford today? Rested, I think, mate. I haven't heard that he picked up an injury or anything. I just think he was rested after being away on international duty. Jonathan Mordecai says Kellyman prefers playing as a 10. How much of a say do you think his parent club have in where he plays for Cardiff? Do you think they have much of a say in that, or they kind of put a trust in BBM?
I don't think they'll have a say where he plays. I think it'll be more a case of they sent him to us because we promised him first in football to get his fitness back up and help him in his recovery and stuff. So obviously Chelsea are going to want him playing somewhere in the front lines, obviously, to get his confidence back up, get him back to his best. I think personally he'll want to play as a 10 because it's less demanding, I'd say, than the wing. On the wing, you're expected to track back, do some dirty work, stuck in. On the 10, you do have a bit of a free role, really, where you can just wander around and find the space. I think he'll want to play as a 10. Whether or not BBM will want him in the 10, when he got, like we said earlier, Robbo or Robertson or even Willock who could play there. And as much as I want us to see him do well, I'd much rather our players that we have contracts with perform than a lone player, if that makes sense. So if it means,
it's a great point, bud. It's a great point.
If we can get Willock, if we can get Willock to flourish at a 10 and he's 4 or 5 games to get going, I'd rather play him there for those 4 or 5 games than the lone player when we could lose him in January.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Lee Griffith says, may as well try Trott at 10 and put Turner in goal. Were you all happy with Osho's minutes being nursed back in? Don't think he done anything wrong. It would have been a bit of a confidence boost for him coming back into a winning team today. I don't think he had loads of minutes that he come on towards the end. But, the thing with Osho, I think we know there's a player there, but he made a few blunders, and they were consistent blunders. There was 2 or 3 games he went through, and at this level in League One, you can't afford to make their mistakes. So hopefully he's learned from their mistakes, and it's just about building his confidence back up now, I think, and getting him back firing on all cylinders.
Well, I know BBM said the kids have earned the right to start the next against Wimbledon. I totally appreciate that, I get that. But it's also a chance for him to get players like Osho, minutes in the legs in the first team, in a competitive game. Like, you got a chance there to give someone like Mafiko now some minutes against Wimbledon because it's no international break. It's a chance for Osho to get some minutes. Louis Giles could be there. It gives you a chance to give some of the first team players who are not starting or getting minutes regularly to get some actual minutes in the legs. And it would be harsh on one of the youngsters to miss out. But I think the first team's got to come first, in my opinion. And if we need Osho to get some minutes to get him through December, because the rotation is going to be a big thing, you have to play. You have to give him the minutes there.
Yeah, there's a few players. Obviously, those Nayakawa, another one.
Yeah.
You'd expect him maybe to have some minutes, but we shall see. Thoughts on our penalty appeal? I'm not sure if that was the one on Joel Bagan Gray, was it? I didn't see a replay of it. I haven't seen that yet, so I'm not sure if anybody else has. So if anybody else can answer that question.
I think it's pointless. We're not going to get a penalty. We're not getting penalties in this league. I think we've had one. I think we have, and we've been lucky to get that. We're not getting a penalty. I mean, not being funny. It doesn't matter what we do. I think the referee said it's got to be for holding on Salek and pulling him back. It's got to be extended period of time. It used to be if you did it and impeded play, it's a free kick. Now it's going to be an extended period of time. They just keep changing the rules all the time. Honestly, it's pointless expecting a penalty or. I
think we should get someone just to paint his shirt on him rather than wear a physical shirt. Just paint a shirt on him because they can't grab nothing, can they?
Well, this is why I've always wondered why you don't get a skin-tight T-shirt. If you pull it and rips it away, you can see the ref. Look at this, mate. Come on, give me something. Like it's rip here. And they go for baggier T-shirts where there's a lot more leeway.
I put that message in the WhatsApp group earlier, didn't I? I don't know if you've seen that yet, but why don't he get it like? I don't know, just put a size large boys on him. So it's skin tight so they can't grab it. Someone's got a thing, because if I was a Cardiff manager, I'd be writing letters to the FAWFA or whatever. It's bonkers, man. At one point today, he had his shirt nearly ripped off him, and then they rugby tackled him after then, and he'd got nothing for it.
No, it'll be a foul against him for being rugby tackled. That's the way the refs go in this league, honestly.
Yeah. Lee Griffith says we need to get back to the 2 points per game average now. That is key to going up and keeping these players.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Development contract Spears is on. Ryan says Ronan positionally and defensively and going forward improve game by game and mentally looking stronger. Yeah, exciting prospect, definitely, but
yeah, really impressive. I can see why Bellamy wants him when he's up early, can't you?
I did the coral shake and got England to win the Ashes at 1,000-1. I haven't really followed the cricket, but I'm guessing they haven't done very well to start off with. What did Turner do to get a card? All they said was he upset Northampton fans. Something when he went out to warm up, I think, or something. I'm not 100% sure, but don't quote me on it. But I think it was something to that effect.
Well, when they equalised, I think Cardiff fans on the side, don't they? So when
on the side and behind the goals, I think.
When they equalised, I think their fans went to the Cardiff fans, and one of them was waving something to the Cardiff fans, looked like. So I mean, it's banter at the end of the day. The fans can give it. They should be able to take it. We get it. We get the Cardiff City Stadium where we fans go past us, cup the ears to us and shush us. Do you mean just it's banter? It's going to wind us up, right? But it's not going to cause trouble. We need to yell Cardiff for
that. How proud are you to have Cardiff players representing Wales in the first team? Bellamy is the bollocks. I'll go first on this one then, right? So I don't tend to follow as much international football as some of the other guys who do shows for us. But since Bellamy's taken over, I've probably shown more interest because of obviously his links to Cardiff in the past and Liverpool. And I obviously took my boy down to the game Tuesday night and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the atmosphere in the ground was awesome. Not quite sure of his tactics around the whole Ruben issue and calling him up. Kind of lost a little bit of love there. But yeah, I think is great to see, how many youngsters and people within our first team squad representing our country. I think it's fantastic, and it can only benefit not only us, but Wales in general as well. There's a comment to come, is it?
I just seen Jonathan's comment just to say, I got a blanket on me now as well. I'm dying, so I've got everything on: a hoodie, a t-shirt, socks, a hat, a blanket on me, everything. To answer the question, if you asked me 2 weeks ago how proud I was, I would have said, I don't know, I said, yeah, I'm landed to see Cardiff play for Wales. You ask me now, and I'll tell you straight up, it makes no difference to me. After watching our under-21s, under-18s, or whatever they were against Arsenal, nothing comes close to how proud I am seeing our academy flourishing the way it is. To see those youngsters step up against a tier 1 academy, right? Chase every single second ball, get stuck into every tackle. They run through brick walls that game. That's what I'm more proud to see our academy flourishing, seeing kids stepping up into the first team. Giving it all. I'm much more happy with that than, again, let's be honest, Bellamy could call up 4 Wales Cardiff players every game. Lawler will come on, Davis, Michael come on, Ruben probably won't play. But for me, to see all those youngsters on our academy stepping up, nothing beats that for me, honest to God. And, we might not see them week in, week out, but when they were called upon, Mafiko, look at him, for example, right? He comes on against Rotherham, he starts against Rotherham, doesn't go to plan for him, he gets taken off for 30 minutes, right? That's crippling for him, probably, that is. That's an awful thing. He plays a week later, I think it was at Cheltenham or Swindon in the Cup at home. Outstanding. Just to see that, right? The mentality they've got there, they keep going. Fucking love it, honest to God. So for me, Cardiff players play for Wales, yeah, it's great. Our academy, 1,000 times better, honestly. Nothing beats our rush.
Great answer. Jonathan says, did you see how soft our yellows were? But they went straight through the back of NG and only had a talking to. We don't get no favours off any referees, but
I genuinely cannot believe how poor the refereeing standard is in this league.
BBM Academy manager, I don't think Bellamy would get the same tune out of this squad as he has Prem players at Wales. Could Capaccio be used on the wing more regular? He provided 2 assists today from smart dribbling and good awareness.
He does have the attributes to be a decent winger, he does. I think he's got the pace, there's great ball control, taking his man on, overlapping runs, underlapping runs, finds a pass. He could do a job of the wing. And there's going to be games where you're going to need someone a bit more solid at the back, so you'll play NG there. And I don't see why not. You're not going to give him a chance. I mean, if something he does have the best games, it's not his fault. So, yeah, I'd try him on the wing. What's wrong with
that? Salek don't get the rub of the green. He gets nothing given to him and everything given against him. Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I think he does the donkey work and we don't kind of necessarily see that really. Well, we see it, but we don't appreciate perhaps all the shit that he has got to do. But we'll see. At what point does it become some sort of agenda against the boy?
It's just, I don't think it's just the same. I think it's Cardiff in general, let's be honest. It's something going on there. It's ridiculous. Some of the challenges. I think it was a game a few weeks ago, wasn't it? I can't remember against now. Capaccio wins the ball back on the far side of the pitch. Linesman keeps his flag down. The referees on the other side of the pitch, who can't see it, blows up. Like the linesman hasn't flagged. Why you blowing up for now?
That happened again today.
A few minutes later, their play goes through. Linesman flaws his flag up for offside. Referee just goes, nope, carry on. And you're like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? It does come across and is there an agenda against Cardiff?
It happened again today. Chambers went in, slid in for a tackle right in front of the touch judge, the linesman, whatever you call it. He put his flag up for a corner to say Chambers took the ball. He went into touch. The referee blew his whistle, give a free kick.
I don't get it. The referee's never in the great position to see what's happening anyway. The whole point of the linesman is there for him to help him.
Well, it was literally in front of the linesman.
It's so frustrating. Also, God, they are so bad at this level. And, normally teams that lose every week are the ones moaning about how bad the refereeing is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We are top of the league, and we are saying how shit the referee standard is.
The fourth official, is he connected to so he can listen to the ref and talk to the referee as well, then? Do you know?
I think he listens to the referee because they say, substitution will be made now and stuff like that, I think. But I'm pretty sure there's also an assessor there for games, isn't he?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be an assessor there which marks the referees out. But it's so poor. You see shit refs having shit games and they never get called out for it. The punishment in the Premier League for a bad game is getting demoted to the Championship. What's that say about the Championship? You can have a cast off somehow. Shit refs a week. I just think it's disgusting. The refereeing standard is shocking. It should be a random ballot. If you're good enough to referee in League 2, it should be good enough to referee in the Premiership. It should be a randomly assigned every single week. So one week you could have a ref from the League 2 or a Premiership ref. Otherwise, you're never going to produce better referees. You're going to have the same standard every year.
Good point. Refs have been terrible. What's the point in the fourth official?
Someone's got to pick the substitution board up.
Jonathan says, I like TJ Parfitt. The guy is an under-18 centre-back and has been brilliant at full-back, very fast for a big player. I think he will be a brilliant player in a few years. Again, obviously played in the Arsenal game. And I was really impressed with the two centre-backs as well. The names, you probably remember them, but I thought they were solid. They were two big boys as well, weren't they?
I thought the whole team were brilliant against Arsenal. I think I said at half-time, you could see it was raining, the pitch was not the best condition, and Arsenal like to play this one-touch football, quick passing and stuff, and it was just there. You could see they're going to make mistakes now. The ball's going to zip over their feet. There's going to be mistakes on there. Yeah, Keita, that's it. I thought Keita was brilliant, mind. I thought he was absolutely brilliant that game. But the youngsters, I thought, were fantastic. Every one of them. They chased every single ball. They didn't win the first ball. They were hunting down the second ball. They hunted in packs. When we had the ball, they were looking for space, trying to create space, attacking the flanks, actually putting crosses in. I thought they were brilliant, the kids were.
Yeah. Best thing, Jonathan says, the best thing the officials done today was become target practice. Chambers blasted the ball straight at the linesman. The most accurate strike he's made this season. Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. I thought he was solid today, in fairness. I think he's definitely upped his game for me. Eric, Wheatley was giving it large in front of the Cardiff fans in the side stand just before and just after he scored. After his own goal, he had Wheatley, what to score for the rest of the game. Good enough for him. Yeah, that was the two centre-backs.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Keita, I don't know how you say it. Keita was outstanding, I thought he was. He came across as well for when the winger was on the ball a few times. He just cleaned him out. I thought he stood out big time. But Parfitt looks quality anyway. He keeps playing left back. And he looks so calm on the ball. His first touch is brilliant.
Yeah, no, agreed. We'll be wrapping up now in the next couple of minutes. We've gone over the hour mark. That's flown by. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If there's anything else you want to cover between now and the next couple of minutes, fire away. No games or anything now in the week, is it?
No, it's next Saturday's the next game now, and that's going to be Mansfield home, 3 o'clock kick-off, thankfully.
So hopefully, they'll have a couple of days rest. I don't think he gives them much rest, does he? Because I think they'll probably be in tomorrow doing recovery session, I would imagine. But hopefully it'll allow, obviously, Ruben to get assessed. I don't know if the gash on Joel's knee would have needed stitches and things. I would imagine it looked right on the kneecap as well. So I can imagine that's going to be a bit of a bugger to heal as well, because it kind of... It's not great, is it?
Don't forget as well, it's the first game for some of these players now for a few weeks as well. So there's going to be a lot of stiff legs, sore muscles tomorrow. So, we're lucky I'm playing for a while. He's going to be a bit, tight hamstrings and everything. So I'd say a light session now this week now. Get ready for next Saturday, then go again and get the run of games in the legs. And really have a great December, because it's going to be, December is going to be a massive one for us. I think if we can sort of pull away from the pack a bit, come January, that's going to be massive for us, especially when recruiting as well.
Yeah. Let's go Cardiff from Milan fans. I don't know if you're tuning in from Italy, but if you are, happy days. It's another one we can pick off. Another, yeah.
Grazie mille.
Jonathan says, do we think BBM will get any backing in January? I think we talked about this maybe one day last week when we done a show together last. Or it might have been with Evan, perhaps. I get confused now. I don't know my arse from my elbow most of the time. But I think we'll probably hit the loan market more than go out spending money, if I'm completely honest with you.
Yeah, I think same. I don't think it'll be money to spend. I think it will be loan market. I think what might happen is he'll probably say, look, if my number one, if I got number one target, if my number one target comes available, can we get him? Or it could be a case of, we agree to sell Darland, maybe, the club wants to buy him, or Simic goes, then I can spend money. I think it'll be loan players. But then again, you might speak to a club and they go, look, we'll offload this player for free if you want to take him. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, go on, we'll sign one on a permanent and 3 or 4 loans then. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens. Lee Griffith says, get up to Merthyr on Tuesday. Who are they playing on Tuesday? Lee, did they play today as well? I know they were, I think they were third in the league after last weekend's results, if I'm mistaken.
Also, how is Spears doing for you?
Yeah, Huddersfield play Tuesday. And Lee, if it's the Lee, I think it is. Lee used to have a season ticket a couple of rows behind me, if that's the one. I'm not sure if you've still got a season ticket, but you're not sat in that seat anymore. So I don't know if you've moved to a different area of the ground or you've now become a martyr and supporting Merthyr. But yeah, appreciate you tuning in, buddy, and getting involved. Much appreciated.
And the Milan fan, actually. That's again a Milan fan watching as well.
Huddersfield play Tuesday night. Rhys Lasky was just saying thank you to the Forever Gala for tuning in, and then he said thank you back, much appreciated. Paul goes to say Keita, De Bono, Kingdom, Parfitt were our back four against Arsenal. De Bono was there. I thought they all were, buddy, in fairness.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Every single one of the youngsters did the club proud.
Yeah. 1-6-2 today, another Rhys hat-trick. Leamington home Tuesday. Yeah, I'm in the Ninian stand now, mate. Ricardo Rees, my cousin's a season ticket holder up at Merthyr, Lewis Moore. Shout out to him. And I've been meaning to go up and watch Merthyr for ages. And I think when Fleets was in charge of Swindon Marine, when we said we was going to try and go up, but for whatever reason it didn't happen. But Ricardo Rees, he's on fire, isn't he? Do you think...
Brilliantly, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
I keep seeing it, though. He scores another goal, I think last season he was top goal scorer as well, I think.
Is he a player, Lee, that could potentially go on to bigger and better things? I don't know how old he is or anything, but do you think he's got the ability to go and play at a higher level? Does he fancy a trip down to Cardiff City Stadium if he comes with a good goal-scoring record?
But to be fair, mate, for Merthyr to keep hold of players like that, because I guarantee there's going to be clubs in non-league that are going to be looking at him thinking, we can nick this player like that. So, fair play. That's not bad, mate. £12 for the Cardiff City season ticket holder Tuesday night.
Yeah, fair play. I'm not 100% sure regarding Parfitt. Is he the under-18s captain? I couldn't tell you, mate, if I'm completely honest with you. But I'll know for next time. I'll research it. I'll give the club a ring tomorrow. But yeah, I'll wait for Lee. He'll be replacing Haaland the way he's playing. Yeah, Newcastle beat Man City today, didn't they? 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
See the Liverpool result.
I seen they were losing 3-0, but I seen after the full-time whistle, right, Pep was having words with Bruno Guimaraes. I looked like they were arguing, and I love watching it because every time Man City lose, right, Pep's got something to say to someone, isn't he?
Yeah. I laughed. I seen a thing on Facebook after the Forest game, and it was a picture of their chairman on the pitch. He's a big bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
And there was a caption on it that he'd just eaten Arne Slot.
I tell him we laugh. I think I put in the group chat the other day. I don't know if you ever seen the last season when Leeds won promotion. Patrick Bamford did a video about calling Chris Wilder a certain word. I know while it was going around, and all of a sudden Chris Wilder's just signed Patrick Bamford for Sheffield United. So I reckon that'll be fun for training on a weekday, won't it?
Yeah, fair play. Right. Paul says Kingdom or Apter for the under-21s. I think that's captaincy, but he did say Parfitt is the under-18s captain, and Yeah, I think, like you said, we watched that Arsenal under-21s game, and I think the future's bright, but that conveyor belt of young talent is very exciting. But I think there's lots of players with massive potential that could probably step up and play games in the first team, I think.
Yeah, again, I think I didn't realise how much I would enjoy watching the youngsters play. I absolutely loved it, and that's credit to them, that is, because they made it enjoyable. They run non-stop for 90 minutes, got stuck into everything, and it's just, as a Cardiff fan, all I've ever wanted to watch is our team get stuck into everything, chase every lost ball, put balls in the box. And again, to beat the Cardiff one side, you could see they started really well last night. You could see they were a top side, but I think the confidence of the boys just grew, thinking, hang on, we can actually take these. And once they realised it, they were outstanding.
Yeah, 100%. Right, we're going to love you and leave you. We'll finish off, though. If you're not a member of Cardiff City World and you would like to become one, you can scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner, or you can join up on Cardiff City World YouTube channel. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can help support the channel to keep creating content 7 days a week. And obviously, we value everybody's support. So on to, I'm not sure what the plan is for the week. I know Si will be back tomorrow to do the breakdown. There'll be a member show Monday. I'm not sure who's doing what as of next week. I'll
have an idea. Monday night for members is part 2 Craig and Michael Smith. And some exciting news. Tuesday night is going to be Matthew Connolly joining us.
There we go. That's open to everyone, Matthew Connolly one, is it? And just the Michael Smith is open to members on the Monday night. So
we'd like to do part 1 for everyone, and part 2 we get them in for members only as a reward. So part 2 Mondays with Craig Michael Smith, 8 o'clock, and Tuesday's going to be Matthew Connolly.
So the part 2 with Michael Smith, he'll be able to say a couple of things he wouldn't probably normally say on a live show then, I'm guessing.
Hopefully, and he'll talk a bit more about his type of breakdown and some of the issues after football. I think he spoke a little bit about last time his mental health wasn't great after ending football. There was no support from anyone. So hopefully we'll get a bit more into that as well. And again, the members can ask what they want to ask at that point, can't they? And I think it'll be a lot more open to say what he wants. 8 o'clock, that'll be Monday though.
8 o'clock Monday night. Happy days. Good week coming up then. Right, Reese, top man. Thank you, buddy. Go and chuck another couple of layers on back and warm up.
Go to the bed, but I'm dying.
So you can't yet, man. Match of days on soon.
Oh, I'd probably be asleep before that now.
Only one thing to say. We are top the league.
We are top the league.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.